Hi Flosstube, welcome to my little stitchy world. It is the day after Thanksgiving. It's actually late evening, and I was going to actually record this earlier on, but my phone died on me. So I had to wait until it was charged up enough, and even then I have my charger cord attached to it, so I'm really hoping I don't bump into it and knock everything down. I'm able to record, usually I'm able to record fine with my phone hooked up to the charger, and I don't have to worry about it dying. So, got my sweater on, I got my scarf on, and I still feel a little cold. I know, it's just a little nippy in the air today. Let's see. So I hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving, and I hope everybody ate pie, because I ate pie, and if I know you ate pie, I won't feel so bad. Yeah, I won't feel quite as guilty. And I have another slice of pie, and I might eat pie again. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. But what good is Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, New Year's? What good is it without pie or something that you love to have but you normally wouldn't? So I hope you enjoyed all the food, and I hope you enjoyed all the company and the day. My husband came home for Thanksgiving. He is still doing that seasonal job with UPS, driving truck, and it's going pretty well. For about a week he didn't work because they thought they were ready for him, and there was goof up in the computer, and I don't know, and just when we were starting to get really concerned and he's wondering maybe this is not meant to be, I need to work, I need to go to work this week, that's all there is to it. The guy called him and said, we got you all straightened out, we are ready for you tomorrow, and he's been working ever since, so that's good. He thought he was going to have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday off, and he said if there's any runs, I will take it, I will do them. And the dispatcher said that yes, I will be calling you. So my husband said okay, I will take it. So he came home on Thanksgiving morning around 11 a.m. and then he left today around 1 p.m. And he's there, and he is now working. He's been working for about an hour and a half. So that's going pretty good, and he's already, after a week, over a week, sorry, week and a half, 2 weeks, whatever it's been, already said that he really likes it there a lot, and that he hopes the seasonal becomes permanent. So he did find out that the latest that they would be hiring everybody back would be April or May, something like that. And most every year they hire everyone back, and should any of the guys below him not work out, then that boosts him up getting hired sooner. And then he put his name down that if they have an opening in another distribution here in Oregon, that he would take that. So we're waiting to see. One day at a time. The seasonal will be done December 30th. So he will be preparing a couple weeks before that to go on to another job until they're ready to call back. It's this whole deal that you have to go through, but it's worth it. It's a little stressful. It can be a little stressful. I just got to give it to God. That's what I got to do. But we feel like everything will work out. So with that said, since I have had this week off, I technically now have, well, not technically, I got a couple more hours before midnight, but I will have my weekend, and that's it. I go back to work, but I will be working for something like 3 weeks. I think it's 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I don't remember. Yeah, 3 weeks. And then I will have my I call it my Christmas break. It is now technically called winter break, but I don't care. I'm a rebel, and I still call it Christmas break. So we will be having Christmas break in about, I think it's 3 weeks after I go back. But I have been laying low. I've gone to the grocery store. Who doesn't go to the grocery store a dozen times before Thanksgiving hits, and including Thanksgiving Day? But I've just been going to the grocery store and getting a few things. That's about it. I do have a little bit of a haul. I never really have a large haul, but that's okay. I have a long wish list, if that counts. I have purchased a couple of things that I didn't even tell my husband about. I'm trying to be good. I'm trying to help him out. I'm trying to work with him so he can get this job that he really wants to get. So that's my agenda. That's my job, to support and help the best I can. And I have enough stitchy stuff, but apparently I didn't have quite enough. So, but what I got wasn't that big of a deal. It was to me. So I will show you what all I've gotten. Things have been pretty mellow around here. The only traumatic thing that's happened was pretty traumatic for our family. If you don't follow me on Instagram. I'm sorry, all my stuff is over here. I'm doing the best I can with what room I have. I got I could talk. I really can. I had leftover turkey, and the tryptophan, that's what it's called, whatever it's called, really affected my brain. My brain is taking a nap. But it's not right here. I moved all this stuff and getting out of screenshot, and it wasn't even over there. Our cat of 16 years, he passed away some weeks back. I found him when I came home. I'm just going to rush through this because I just really don't want to cry on Flosstube. He watched my son grow up. My son was 6 years old when Yoda was born. And Yoda and Peaches, our cat Peaches, I think she's in the living room on her blankie. October 2nd, last month, they turned 16, sorry, not 15. It was hard. I knew he was going downhill. I called my oldest son and said, you really need to come and visit with Yoda. I don't know how much longer he has. I had planned on taking to the vet, but I knew what was wrong was something that couldn't be fixed, and his arthritis was really severe. He's never really been an unhealthy cat. Never have. His arthritis. Dobby, no attitude. But he was going downhill with his arthritis. He could barely walk, and he was losing mobility. But he wasn't acting. The last night he was with us, he wasn't quite acting right. And my son, I had texted him some days before, and then all of a sudden he showed up, and later on he said, something told me, Mom, something told me you need to go visit Yoda now. He said, I was going to go home, I was tired, I just got done with work, and all I could think about was home, and all of a sudden in my mind, it just was like, you need to visit Yoda now. And we really feel like God was talking to his heart, because he came here and he just picked him up and held him, and Yoda just grabbed onto him. And every time he held Yoda, he would always say, love you, Yoda, love you, Yod man. And he'd go, meow. And this time he went, like he was trying to meow to say, I love you too. He always felt like, my son always felt like it was Yoda saying, yeah, I love you too. And it was like he was trying to get it out. And he goes, Mom, something's just not right. And I was like, yeah, I know. So that night I got him comfortable, and I was going to take him in the next day. And when I got up and saw him, he had lost mobility completely in his back legs, and he just didn't look quite right. My husband's going to be home, and I felt like if he needed to be rushed in, he would. but it was his back legs, you know. So I came home and I found him. I thought he was laying. I thought he had tried to get up off the dog bed. Um, and I took a couple steps to him and was like, "Hey, Yoda." And then I just stopped and I saw that he was perfectly still. And he was gone. I just panicked. I was sobbing. I was running through the house to my husband. I was shaking him awake, screaming, "He's gone, he's gone." You know, when you have it in your mind, the way it's going to be, and you're going to be there. And I wasn't even home. And that was really hard. He wanted to go when he was home. And a part of me is glad that he did that, but I just wish he wasn't alone. But my husband believed he's the one who took care of his body, got it, you know, so we could take him to heavenly wings. We wanted to keep him home. So his ashes are up there next to Ivan's. And you know, we lost Ivan, Charlie, his brother, and I. You know, we hit hard. We hit really hard. I was bonded with that dog. I mean, he was my heart and soul, my spirit. He was like my walking spirit. And when he died in my arms, I knew he went. I knew he passed over. The second he was gone, I just screamed, "He's gone." I literally felt like a part of my spirit died with him. Yoda has just always been. 16 years, he has seen these animals come in, these rescued animals come into our lives, and he has tried to nurse them. He has been there to make them happy. I mean, I've never had a cat like that, and I have had cats my whole life, and I've never had a cat like that. I have pictures of a bearded dragon on him, a bird, my father-in-law's bird, when they couldn't take care of him for a while. The guinea pigs. He would wrap his arm around the guinea pigs. He would lay outside with them when we have them on the grass with a gate, or a fence thing, and he would guard them. And one time a bird flew onto the fence, and he was doing this because he was telling this bird, "You better get away." It's just a little bird too. All these dogs, and I don't know. He knew that Charlie was suffering from the loss of his brother. He didn't understand what it was. He was a cat. He didn't understand any of that, but he knew Charlie had fallen into depression. Charlie would go around trying to find Ivan, barking and barking, and could not locate him, and just get agitated. And some days I couldn't get him to eat. And it took a little while, but pretty soon Yoda got him, bonded with him. And Yoda would just sit there and just lick him and lick him and lick him all the way up until the last couple of days of Yoda's life. And I think he's looking for Yoda now. In fact, he came running out because the dogs were in the bedroom. So they didn't even know Yoda was in here, had passed away. And they came out when I came out, and then when I was walking to Yoda, and then I discovered it, and I went hysterical. For whatever reason, they followed me, but then they came back out with me and my husband, because my husband flew out, came in here, draped his body over Yoda, just kind of, over him, looking at him, dealing with it. And Charlie kept trying to nudge my husband away. He kept trying to take his body and cover Yoda, and he kept trying to nudge him like, wake up, why aren't you moving, why aren't you waking up? He kept wanting to lick him, and he couldn't understand. And my husband had to gently just push him away. And I said, "Dave, he's mourning. He's confused." And so my husband, like, "We got to get him wrapped up." And Charlie would not stop. And he just kept trying to maneuver his body because he wanted to take his body and hold it over Yoda, trying to protect him. And I just fell apart. I mean, I was hysterical already, and that was hard to watch, to go through that. He's been our baby for 16 years, but to see this poor old dog losing another attached brother. So that was really, really hard. So we're just trying to get used to it. It's like a part of this house is just a little colder. It's a little lonelier. It's a little emptier. Even though he's back home, it just, I can't see Ivan right there. I can't see Yoda right there. I have to feel him in my heart. So that's been really, really hard for us. He would beg for food along with the dogs in the kitchen. So let's get to my my haul, what I have of it. It's Leisure Arts bookmarks galore, and I am stitching a bookmark for my sister. It's ones that have the month and a different flower for that month. My sister's is a daffodil. It's the yellow. She does like daffodils, but she loves the color lavender. And there is one for the month of February, and it is right there. It's that purple one. I am stitching that instead, and instead of putting March in there, I am putting Patty. Her name's actually Patricia, but we all call her Patty, just like my name is Frances, but most everybody calls me Fran, except for those few family members and that one coworker I work with. And then I am also going to stitch, it's a really big bookmark. It's bigger than what I realized until I started stitching it. So I'm going to go ahead and finish that. At first I was going to play around with it and make it shorter, but I decided forget that. I just don't want to put the energy into that. So I'm going to stitch it as is, and she can use that for any of her like hardbound books. And then the one with the little flowers over here, that is shorter. So I am, I am going to stitch that, and it says, "The Lord bless thee and keep thee." And then next to it with the little dove, if you can see the dove right there, I'm going to stitch that for a friend. The heavens declare the glory of God. And then I haven't quite decided the next one that I'm going to stitch for another friend. And I'm not quite sure how I'm going to finish it. At first I was like, oh, I'm not going to do that lacy stuff. Then I thought, well, I kind of like the lacy stuff. I think my sister would. But we'll see. But I got to start. Let me move that. So here it is. And you can see this is only the a portion of it. It goes all the way down for the flower too. So I have one more color fill in here, and then I'm going to put her name, and then complete that. And this is as wide as it is. It's 25 stitches wide, but it's 103 or 105 stitches long. So I'm going to finish that as is. Let's see, and then I got my Brenda's Minders and More surprise grime guard. Turkeys, of course, gobble gobble. And the needle minder. Cuteness overload. Look at that turkey. Adorable. Alright. I don't remember if I showed you my October Fabrics by LJ. If you go to Kay's Cross Stitch, you've seen it, because she's more ahead than I am. And here it is. It's called Spooky, and you can see why. Cute. And I really wanted to pull it completely out, because when I first looked at this in the package, I was like, another purple? Really? He already sent a purple. How many purples can a person have? Sorry, Kay. That was a stupid question, wasn't it? How many purples can a person have? Well, if you go to Kay's Cross Stitch, you can see how many purples a person can have. Purple person. Say that 3 times fast. But it was like this. It was just purple. Because it was all folded and all dark. Then I opened it and I was like, oh my goodness, that is gorgeous. I cannot wait to stitch the stuff on that. That is actually a beautiful piece of fabric. What else do I have for you? Oh, it is, oh boy, I bet you my iPad's dead. It had like 3% the last time. So I was watching, yeah, it's 3%. Let me hurry. I'm trying to remember. The House of Floss and Fluff. Sorry, I'm ghostly. And her very first video, she's got 11 of them out. You've got to check them out. I will link it below. She had done the know your needle worker tag, and the question was, what is your favorite TV show? And one of hers was Once Upon a Time. And you guys probably know that I'm a Once Upon a Time fanatic. This season, not so much, but what can you do? And anyway, later on, she showed her whips, and one of her whips was from an Etsy shop, not Etsy, Etsy shop, which she does a lot of projects from there, or a lot of patterns. And it was Once Upon a Time. So I stopped it right then and there. I got on to the Etsy, and I just looked up Once Upon a Time cross stitch charts, because I just wanted to see what was all out there. Really, the turkey is affecting my brain. My brain is falling asleep. And I found this pattern, and this is a different one than what she got, and I fell in love, and I bought it because I had to buy it. It has Pongo. I mean, come on, people. Pongo. You can't go wrong with Pongo. And what I really love is that she put Neil on there. And a lot of stuff doesn't include Neil, and that makes no sense, because Rumpelstiltskin orchestrated everything with the curse to find his son, who was Bellfire, but in our world is called Neil. So, I mean, he was the center of why the curse was cast. I mean, you ask Regina and she'll tell you something different, but it was all her once. But really, Rumpelstiltskin had everything to do with it. So I love that. And it has Robin Hood, and it has Archie. Of course, you gotta have Archie with Pongo, and Granny, Ruby. Hers, it even has Hades, the Greek god, and Zelina. I mean, come on, it's got all the great characters. Henry. Hers had a lot of just the main characters. My only gripe is, well, I love the dagger. It's got the dagger, come on. Belle's pretty good. So a lot of the characters are dressed like they do in the Enchanted world, and not in this world where they were cursed to. So I can understand the reason why she made Rumpelstiltskin look like the dark one in this, because the dark one was just that kind of shimmering green, but he looks like a frog, no, like a lizard. That's what I was going to say. He looks like a lizard, people. Not like the dark one. Would you be scared of that? I mean, come on. Oh, I maneuvered it and it turned white. That's what I want to look like. I don't like it. I just don't like it. I'm going to keep the hair like that, but I'm going to change the color of his hair. But I'm going to give him, because, oops, I'm trying to think of his name. Robert Carlyle, the actor, this was during the time that he had long hair. Of course, Robert Carlyle cut his hair, so Rumpelstiltskin has short hair now. I don't quite like it, but whatever. So I am going to keep it long to define him as Rumpelstiltskin along with his name. Keep the clothing, but I'm going to give him the same color flesh tone as his son, of course. And then kind of, I'm thinking of doing like 2 blending colors of brown and silver, because he had specks of silver, because Robert Carlyle is like 70 or something like that. I mean, seriously, he is. He doesn't look like it. So I got looking on that. I bought that, and Etsy patterns sometimes are so inexpensive. That was like $6. This one here was $3.50, I think. And I saw it, had to have it, and I bought that at the same time. Like, Stranger Things. Hello. Stranger Things. Who here does not like Stranger Things? I binge watched Stranger Things in 3 days and stitched on Hazel. It has L, or as the scientists like to call her, number 11. So I love it. And Sheriff Hopper and I can never remember that alien name. Demogorgon. The Demogorgon. I mean, that was stitched perfectly if you watch Stranger Things. So yeah, I had to have it. $3.50, people. I cannot wait to stitch all of the things. I'm just so excited. And then I looked around on her Etsy shop, and guess what else they got, people? I've got this in my cart. Game of Thrones with the dragons. Now, I don't watch it. I want to watch it. I know, I've heard they're ending it. This is going to be the last season. But I want to watch all of them. I don't have HBO. I want to find a way to watch all of them. But my son watches them. He loves them. And I'm thinking about stitching that for him. And when I bought those charts, I got a 25% off coupon. You can't beat that. So that's exciting. And then I downloaded this chart here. It's from Brooks Books, and it is a free chart. So I will try and remember to link the free chart below also. And you're giving the numbers and letters for your own down below. And I really wanted to stitch that for Christmas. Don't know if I will, but there you go. That's my haul. Also, yeah. So spruced up stitching. I don't know if you still follow me or not, if you still watch me. Oh, I think it bent, yikes. But you had asked me in some videos past when I showed this book if I wanted to stitch the Santa and Polar Bear, owl or polar bear, I think is what you said. I was interested in stitching the polar bear. So I have since gotten all the floss for it, but then I didn't mention it anymore because my concentration went on Hazel so much. It's just been Hazel, Hazel. Hazel, Hazel, Hazel. That's all I think about. And I kind of had to put a halt on it. So just today, I put the fabric for this in my 1, 2, 3 stitch cart, and I will be ordering that fabric in the next week or two. And then, like I said, I have everything else. I think I'm missing one color, and I'll grab that. What I'm thinking is, if you're still watching me, if not, I'm sure I have subscribed to you on Instagram. I will double check, but I'm pretty sure. I will tag you. If you're not watching me on this, then you don't hear me. Everybody else is hearing me. My plan is, my sister and brother-in-law cannot make it over here for Christmas because my brother-in-law works. My hair is just everywhere, guys. It's late. It looks totally uncombed. I combed it this morning. He works early the next morning, so they're just not going to make it. And so when my son and daughter-in-law come on Christmas Eve, we always have our little family dinner. It's finger foods, traditional finger foods on Christmas Eve. And we're just going to open all the presents and just treat it like Christmas Day. That way, if my husband is required to work on the day after Christmas, then we'll just have like an early lunch and then that way he can get some rest or drive or whatever he needs to do. I am going to celebrate being done with Hazel because I gotta be done with Hazel. And all my Christmas stuff and reward myself with a new start. So, you do not need to start December 21st. I understand that 97.99999% of people will be busy December 25th. I get that. You can start it on New Year's if you want. You can start it the day before, the day after. But this is my plan. This is when I plan on starting it. I will let you know if anything changes. And what I was thinking about doing is calling it LA for Leisure Arts. LA Traveling Companion or LA Traveling Polar Bear, Santa Polar Bear. Give me your opinion and we can post our progress on that. And if anybody else, I got this off of Amazon, really, really inexpensive. If anybody else wants to stitch on this too. There are some beautiful Santa designs on here. Just gorgeous. I think I flipped through it before. But you can't go wrong with some of these. And they're designed in a way that they'll look really cute for kids or adults. It doesn't matter. There are some really fun designs. But I flipped through. I love this one. I'm not quite ready for one that scale, but I flipped through on, I'm showing all these that I've already shown that I want to do. On the 1, 2, 3 stitch for fabric, and it just kept coming back to that navy 28 count. I just really like it, so that's what I'm going to get. So then I was cleaning up my stitchy box, trying to decide what I wanted to put away since I was concentrating so much on Hazel. And I came across this and realized I had forgotten all about wanting to get this done. So I pulled it out, and when I am sitting down waiting for something that, you know, I'm going to get up in like 20 minutes or whatever, I grab this and stitch on it. It's one of the things. And it's this. So I have all of this done right in here. And I'm going across now. And then there is a row of stuff here. Like there's another horse right here pointing a different direction. So I'm almost there. There's a lot of this half stitch, which goes by pretty quickly. Unless you're binge watching like Stranger Things. That is so addicting. I can't tell you how many times I was looking and then I'd look down and realize I'd been holding my needle in the pointing down direction for about 20 minutes while watching that show. I just couldn't get my eyes off of it, and I'm like, I'm never going to get Hazel done. But I'm really working on this. I really want to get this thing done too. It's ridiculous. So, worked on that. And I've had a week off, so I have more time dedicated to Hazel and being able to jump on and stitch something for about 30 minutes, 20 minutes. Then I was working on this. Now, you know, I was working on this while I was sick. And I was sick on the couch and had to call in sick and the whole bit. And I took that because it was 14 count. I'll figure out where it is. Here it is. And I brought it over here and was stitching on it. And then I need something to back it up. Sorry. You're looking at my back. Yikes. Okay. Then I got to this part. Look at all that I got done. Then I realized when I started doing the arm, it's getting too close to this. My stitches were off. Now, if you just look at it, you can't tell. I started compensating here when I discovered it, and the beard is right, the dove is right, the hat is right, hat is perfect, the face is right. It's this stuff in here. I stitched Santa one too many in the legs, and I made him one stitch too close to the other leg, so his thighs are very close together. I think he ate too many cookies, my personal opinion, and drank too many cups of hot cocoa, but that's just me. And then I did one too many rows going this way, not rows, but stitches going this way. So I was so upset about it, trying to find the mistakes. I made several mistakes down this way that spiraled, and I shouldn't have stitched when I was sick. And it's way too much. I am not frogging all of that. I'll just pitch it, right? Just pitch it. I'm done with it. I'm not doing it anymore. I restarted it. I had that fabric that I coffee tea dyed and baked and based. I did a Vana, I did a Priscilla Vanified piece of fabric. I say Priscilla because I coffee tea dyed it first, then I Priscillified it and I baked it. And Vana, or not Vana, no, Vana baked and based. Priscilla stitched all of hers, let me get back on track, all of her Santas on the tea coffee dye, and I loved how it looked. I think mine turned out darker, probably because I used espresso, I don't know, but I'm going with it, and I'm going to really like it, but have no fear. After I started my own, I was looking at this the next day and I thought, I don't want to get rid of all of that. It's just so much work. So much stitching went into this. So much. So I just calmly looked at it and I figured out the Santa looks fine. If nobody tells my sister, she will never know, okay? So I am going to frog this and all of this and move it over a stitch or two. Just make it a little bit bigger, that's all. Finish it up. I counted where the polar bear is. It should still work out. And I'm going to make it into an ornament and give it to her. And then I'll have one and she'll have one. Just different fabric. And she'll like the blingy more than the other one. I think I will like the look of the other one better. So. Have no fear. Santa will not be thrown away. As I was going to restitch it just on the other side, but I decided when I saw Priscilla's, I just loved it. I love that color. So, I think I will like it like that. I better. I am not restarting that, let me tell you what. It's not happening. Oh, I did buy these. Vana Pfeiffer, the Twisted Stitcher, in her last video. Said this is what she uses. She says she doesn't have time to make project bags. She makes them for everybody else. She does everything else. So she says these work perfect. And she showed all of her whips in these bags. When I was done with her video, I got on Amazon, $1 a piece. I just showed you a chart. $1 a piece. It was 10 in a pack, different colors. Hello. Ordered them. Had to have them. It's perfect for me. I know I'll never get around to stitching a project bag. That doesn't mean I don't want one, and maybe one day I will. They're really, really cute. And I love the idea of putting some project in the cloth. The ones that are not so much hand-dyed, but maybe hand-dyed or coffee tea-dyed, stained, whatever, that I know is going to take quite a while to stitch. Like, especially like a monthly sale that you know is going to last all year, and then you know it's going to last 2 years because of how far behind you are. Not that I'm talking about anybody specific. So I think that would be really nice, but one of these days I'll get around to it. One more stitch to show you. I also would grab this when I was just sitting down for just a little bit of time. I could sit it down, go run, do whatever I was doing in the kitchen. So I'm going to cough again. And then I hiccuped. because they were repeating patterns, and I didn't even have to look at the chart. It's the Classic Christmas Charm. I'm just filling in the blocks, just getting those blocks done. And then I did work some on the little snowflakes or stars or whatever it is in this one. So I got a few more done. And I just sporadically do it. But it's just repetitive. So, what she's doing. Okay. I try and put this away. Fur, you know? That is it on all my other little stuff. And then you notice it's Christmassy. So the only thing I have to show you, Hazel, Hazel, Hazel. I took her completely off of the scroll thing. I'm trying to decide if I want to put this in a Q-snap again, because now I'm at the point where I'm stitching all the way down. And so when I got to that point, I realized I'll have to go a row, move the scroll row, finish the row with the other part of the chart, go back up, because it wasn't wide or tall enough. So some of it was rolled up. So I may put it back on the Q-snap. I took it out and I'm going to play around with it. But here she is. So page 1, 2, 4, and 5 is done. And I'm working on page 3 and 6. So since I already had it up, I went ahead and did 2 rows. And I figured I would roll the scroll and do the bottom 2. But just a little while ago, I decided I'm taking it off. Now I folded it. That was really stupid. I probably shouldn't have folded it. I should have draped it. I've only got 1, 2, 3 for chart 3, and obviously these 2 plus the 3 on chart 6, and she's done. And that is skipping one entire row all the way down. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. Let me double check. Yep. Nope. Yep. I'm arguing with myself. Let's see. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3. Yeah, because I'm going to skip that. And this chart is smaller than all the charts. It's mine. It's good. So yeah, I'm chugging along on that thing. When I get to like this part, there's only a few colors and I'm really going fast. Pretty excited there. If I lean back, it looks better. There you go. For some reason, my phone, when I get up close with this full coverage piece, it looks pixelated or something. I don't know what it is. But in person, this is what it looks like when I'm looking at it. Look at that face. How can you not love that face? I am so ready to be done with this. I am so ready. Only because I think I've said this before. She needs to be home. You know, she just needs to be home. She needs her mama to see her, not me. I put another needle minder on there. I'm sure somebody specific recognizes it. It was a winner. I was a winner for that one from somebody special on, oh, Flosstube, that's not gonna work. That failed and you all saw it. But yeah, I wanted the butterfly on there to cheer me up. I love butterflies. And I was starting to feel a little like exhausted on that thing. Not defeated, not tired, just exhausted. In fact, Wednesday, I told my husband I'm taking the day off. I've been really going strong, stitch to stitch, binge watching something. I'm now binge watching The Mist. I don't know why I'm binge watching that, The Mist, for Netflix. I'm starting to get all these Netflix TV shows. I don't know why. I have enough Hallmark Christmas movies to watch. But when I find something and binge watch, I'm stitching. And I've been binge watching Netflix, or not Netflix, I just said Netflix, Flosstube, because my son, I had told him he had come over to, I think he came over to see Yoda's ashes. That was his cat. He's had a hard time with that also. But we were talking, and he mentioned the Apple TV, and I said, yeah, I'm going to get the Apple TV one of these days. But right now I can't get that because, you know, your dad doing what he's doing. I just got to hold off. He says, I'll be right back. He went outside. He came back in about 20 minutes later and says, I just bought you an Apple TV online. What? Don't worry about Mom. He's a mama's boy. So he brought it over. It's an older one because I said, I don't want anything new because I just don't. I don't need any of that. I have cable and everything. My Flosstube goes onto that so nice. Like, really, really nice. It doesn't buffer. It doesn't do anything like that. It plays wonderfully. I just love it. I have that thing on all the time. I can even play my Netflix through it if I want, if I already got it on, which I do occasionally, but I have Netflix through in Xfinity, so I can do Netflix anyway. So this week I've been planting my butt on the couch and knitting and stitching. I made this cowl. This is the tutorial with Tina from Simply in Stitches. I'm now doing a black one for my sister for Christmas. So it's identical. It just looks a little different because it's the color. But she's got a black coat, and I found that out. And I'm really excited about giving this to her. I do like, what do I do? Woo! 6 to 8 stitches a day. My sister does not drive. Heaven forbid she ever drives. So she can put this like this over her head as a scarf. And then her coat, it's kind of like a raincoat too. And she can put her hood and button up her coat and tie the hood on her if she's out walking, gets caught in the rain or the cold. And I'm telling you what, like just putting this on just for these few seconds, my head is sweaty, like I feel like I'm having a hot flash. So I know it's going to keep her nice and warm after all the chemotherapy she had, or sorry, she had a little chemotherapy. She had a whole ton of radiation. She had the max of the radiation. She can't have any more. So we really pray cancer doesn't come back. So she can get sick very, very easy. So I wanted to get that made for her. So that's what I'm doing. I'm doing that. I'm doing her bookmarks. I'm just stitching Christmas stuff. I am knitting Christmas stuff. I am working on my husband's blanket. It's way over in the corner. I want to get that done and surprise him for Christmas. Do you think I'm going to get all this done? I need to find some more Netflix shows to binge watch. Except actually stitch when I'm doing it instead of don't go in the woods, don't go in the woods, please don't go in the woods. Not the dog, just don't kill the dog. I mean, I'm not going to get anything done if I do things like that. So yeah, or maybe something not so dramatic. More Christmas Hallmark movies. That's what I need to do. That's it, guys. I am off. I always make it up to almost an hour. Just what you want to do. Listen to me talk for almost an hour. But yeah, I'm not on here that often. If I was on here every week, goodness, heaven forbid I talk an hour every week. That would be awful. But yeah, I don't have anything else to show you. And I really hope to get back on here soon. I feel like there was something else I wanted to say. What else could I possibly say? My dogs are doing good. Oh, Rico over here. He's my Rico. Oh, he got attitude, my little roly-poly. Oh, he needs his medicine. Hi, baby. You're just giving me a kiss. Oh, yeah. Sorry. He just woke up. I just woke him up. Oh, why don't you give me kisses? Yeah. You know I love you. Oh, you're my boy. How can you not love a dog? Aw, he loves giving kisses. He's a flirt. Yeah. Should have called him Romeo. Yes, I know. Okay, we're going to say goodbye. Oh, honey. Woo. Where's the greenies? Oh, yes, I love you. Well, we're going to go because he's really flirting big time. Okay, licking me upside down and they see your tongue upside down. All right, guys. So, yeah, I will get back on here before Christmas and show you all the stuff I finished. And hopefully, okay, it's like a liver. Hopefully, you will get to see a finished Hazel, right? I got to get off here and start stitching on her. Oh, my goodness. Oh, you're such a ham. You're really showing it off up on this thing. You know that you're going to be all over Flosstube. You're playing it up big time. Oh, goodness. Oh, you're pitiful. You're just pitiful. Yeah, he's always like this. He knows how lucky he is to not be living on the streets anymore. Could you imagine just putting him on the ground, getting in your car and driving away? That's what somebody did. There are some people you just want to spend 10 minutes with. Have a great week, and thank you all for watching and putting up with all this dog spit. And I really appreciate all the comments that you've given and your thumbs up and the time you take to watch my videos. I hope they're worth it. For all you people who don't like dogs, this is probably just grossing you out. And I've got Charlie over there. I think he's jealous because he's watching with a glare. Yes, I love you too. All right, guys. Thanks again. Thanks again. I really appreciate all of you. We will talk to you soon. Bye, everyone. Say bye, Rico. My ham.